all of the alphabet crew. You asked for it, so here it is. 4-5 with 4-5, a Microwave Dreams podcast, where if ifs and buts was cherries and nuts, we'd all have a merry motherfucking Christmas. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, 4-5. Of course, as the introduction says, this is 4-5 with 4-5, a Microwave Dreams podcast. And to the left of me is my mentor, the coldest DJ in the DFW area. He goes by the name of DJ Johnny Judah. And today, we're going to go back and touch bases on my first episode. Our subject was, should there be a limitation or a statute of limitation on fucking? Or, for the more politically correct, should there be a statute of limitation on the act or the sexual acts that we perform with each other? You know, two consenting adults that we have to say today. So, going back to what we talked about before, of course, we touched bases on, Bill Cosby's and the R. Kelly's and things like that. But I was leaning more into, hey, back in our time, you know what I'm saying? I'd say about 10, 15 years ago, the big party drug was X, right? For Bill Cosby, it was Quaaludes, right? My thing is this: if it's consenting, or you think it's consensual, see, because that's what we have to deal with as men today. If everybody we have been involved with in that arena, as far as sexuality is concerned, or sex is concerned, right? We as men, we have to seriously think about these people, the women that we are, or whoever y'all are dealing with, the people that we are dealing with when we're dealing with them, right? We have to really sit back and think about everybody that we have had some type of interaction with when it comes to sex today, because of the things that are happening, not just in the media, right? It's happening in the courtroom. People are getting pulled in from 30 years ago, or 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I thought it was consensual, or maybe there were some other things at play, right? And we all know that, and I hate to say it, but it's true. When it comes to sex, relationships, we already know who holds the gate for that, right? There's gatekeepers, and they all women, because you cannot have sex without their consent, right? And it's legal. It should be that way, because I don't believe any man should take advantage of a woman, or any man should take advantage of another person, period, when it comes to sex, right? Overpowering, overbearing, all that shit, right? I don't believe it should happen. So in my world, I always say, if I was the king of the world, if you went out there and you was raping somebody, you should get your dick cut off. But, ladies, because it's going to get on y'all's ass too. If by any chance in hell that who you are accusing, you just accusing because you're mad, or, like some of our athletes have gone to jail and spent time for being with you, and your daddy and your mama didn't like it, and then you got the brother sent to jail. In my world, if you are caught lying about that, women, you deserve 60 years in prison. Because I don't want nothing to be cut off. I don't want nothing to be cut off on you. Okay? And I'm still trying to figure out in the world today, why is it if a man goes to jail for rape that he did not commit, and it is found that he did not do it, they let him out. He may get a little bread, but nothing ever happens to the accuser. And I thought in the court of law, you can't lie. You stand on the thing with your hand on the Bible. I'm not gonna lie. Perjury, whatever that shit is, right? So if you lie in court, okay, If you lie in court, you should go to jail for it. But I think if somebody sent you to jail for 18 years of your life just to find out you didn't do that crime, whoever accused you should serve that time and some. But I digress. So I'm gonna ask you, as far as for the statute, do you believe there should be a statute of limitation on sex?
Man, I don't know.
It's a hard one for you because you're in a marriage that's lasted, everything is good.
Somebody can still come back out the blue out of nowhere and be like, hey,
that's what I was about to point out.
Took it back in 97.
97, 95. You took it, right?
I mean, well, fortunate and unfortunate for me, I don't got no money.
That's it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's what he's pointing out is true, but it's sad. It is very sad that what's happening today. It does a lot of times. It relates to money. It relates to money on whether or not we're gonna take this dude to court.
I mean, it's a big, to me, it's, when you do it in that manner, that ain't nothing but an extortion scheme. That's right. It's nothing more than an extortion scheme.
Right, because we talked about it with R. Kelly, right? And the first thing that you said when that thing first popped, I'm not talking about the first one. I'm talking about the second go round, because everybody know what happened on the first one. If you've seen the tapes, I seen it. So the second go round, you specifically said to me, "Hey, he ain't going nowhere. Them NDAs." I was like, "NDAs?" You was like, "Yeah, non-disclosure agreements." Right. They sign them, which would make sense to me, especially after his first trial, right? And the fact that we know parents was sending they kids over there. So somebody had to sign something. And we also know this too, that R. Kelly right now is not in jail for what we were told he was going to jail for, right? He's not in jail for some weird sex ring or something crazy like that, right? He already beat, from what I understand, I believe Max told me that he already beat something in Chicago or something. So whatever it is, whatever it is. I don't know if the brother's ever going to get out. I pray that he does. So Chris says he's a born-again virgin and don't want to mess around with none of y'all ever again. I hope he starts. I hope if he comes out, he responds to women like Mike Tyson did when he came. Get away from me! You trying to accuse me of rape? That's what I hope. That's what I hope that happens for R. Kelly. But hey, just back to facts when it comes to it, right? Every time R. Kelly laid down with one of these girls, don't you think that after the first trial and all of y'all saved him with the chocolate factory money, you remember y'all saved it on the first trial. So after that first one, I just don't believe that anybody who actually learned a lesson from that would go right back in that arena and say, okay, yeah, I learned a lesson, but I'm gonna do it this way, this go round. You know what I'm saying? When the brother jumped up in front of Gail and said, y'all trying to kill me, it was funny. It was a meme. It was great. Everybody laughed. But if we really paid attention to what he was saying and how he was saying it, this was a man who was clearly in distress. And it wasn't because I don't think he was worried about everything that was being said on him. You understand what I'm saying? I really don't think he was worried about that. What really was pressing on him was they trying to send me to jail for some shit I don't even understand, right? And everybody else is like, oh no, you know why they sending you to jail. You know why they sending you to jail, but the courts didn't hit him for what we thought he should have been hit with.
I mean, it's like a Al Capone type situation. What they get him on tax evasion, I think it was.
Yeah, they got Al on taxes. Yeah.
So it's like, however we can get him, we just want to get him off the street. That's basically what it is. It don't matter how. We just got to get him off the street.
You don't think that it has something to do with you know how all of the this may be a conspiracy theory, but you know how all the artists is going back to get their masters. R. Kelly, he should have all his masters, I think, right? If he doesn't, damn, right? And he can come back and get them after 30 years. Jesus.
I think he owned all his mouth because he everything he did usually was in studio. This was his. Everything was his.
Yeah. So, it was out of his studio or something that he was doing. He was already funding the project or whatever the case may be. I agree with you on that, but I don't know how well that translates to the court system and how everything went down. But back to facts, though, right?
Yeah, you're talking about a statute of limitations, man. That's a double-edged sword, man. I kind of agree with it, then again, I kind of don't. But like I said, I'm talking to somebody who haven't touched a mill yet. So, you know,
okay.
Nobody having.
So let's just remove, because we talking about court system. Court system don't care about your money. Mm-hmm. Well, we know it's a system of checks and balances. So I take that back. They care about your money, you know. But if we're going to go by the legalities of everything, then we as men are going to get penalized somewhere along the way. I think we should have some more. We need to put things in place for ourselves to keep ourselves safe for the just in case.
NDAs.
I talked about it.
Nowadays you have phones. You got a text message. Mm-hmm. And I'll make sure and save mine. I'll make sure to save where she said I had a good time.
Screenshot.
Yeah. You know, that's if I was in today's, as far as technology. You can look right here. 2023, she said, "Hey, I had a great time. When are we gonna do it again?"
I filmed it. Because she liked it. She liked me. She asked me to film it. It was okay for me to do it. If that's the case.
That's the case.
Right? But they can still come back because I brought this up on the last show. You know, because what got me to thinking about this shit was the woman who had been banging the whole cop. She was a cop who was, and you know what her thing was now? You know what she said now?
What she said?
She came back and she said that they took advantage of her. That like they was taking advantage of the fact that.
I thought her husband was in on it.
That's what I pointed out, right? I pointed that shit out. Her husband, it was like he didn't have no problem with it at all. Hey, this is our lifestyle. Now, well, if it's your lifestyle, cool. That's what was one ploy to get it off, because the husband really couldn't say shit, right? And how he came out, everybody jumped on it because he defended her, stating this is what we do. Okay? Now, today, they took advantage of me. You see what I'm saying? And it can kind of, when you look at it, it can kind of play out in that vein, because the dude that flipped the switch on him was the chief. And come to find out, he flipped the switch because she didn't want to give him none. So if she says, hey, they were trying to take advantage of me, or they did take advantage of me in this situation, that's going to play in it, because as far as they concerned, hey, we got her text and you was trying to knock her down too. You see what I'm saying? So why'd you turn her in? Because that's what it looks like now. You turned her in because she wouldn't let you pipe, right? Which we all know, that's how some of you assholes out there, that's how some of y'all get the play that you get. You let him hit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you lame asses out there. You know, some of y'all that like to go on and, you know what I'm saying, just coattail and ride on some other shit. But anyway, back to fact. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that there should be a statute of limitation on sex. And my statute of limitation is 2 weeks.
Damn.
It should be 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It should be 2 weeks. It should be 2 weeks. Because if outside of rape,
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
outside of rape. Now rape is excluded.
So what's included in 2 weeks? You can't say that y'all slept together.
I believe it was consensual. See, and that don't hold up in nothing.
I mean, non-consensual is rape,
right? But if you believe that it was consensual, as a man, that shit has no weight, none. When you think about it, right? Hey, I thought this was okay. It was okay until you squeezed my titty this way. Right? How many times when we came up, right? This was the thing. How many times did you hear, no matter how far it's gotten, soon as she says no, that's the end of it? How many times you heard that? Right? This is what we taught. We was taught this as young men. If she says no, that's it. Right?
The scary part about that is, shit, I done talked to motherfucker out of nowhere before.
See, I don't want.
I don't give a shit. You gotta go find the motherfuckers.
Yeah. They gotta go find them for you. I know that. They not, because I know. If you know anything about Johnny Judah, he's a gentleman with his. So you know what I'm saying? There's not gonna be that kind of a problem. No. But I don't want you to say that again on this show. Okay?
I give a damn.
But it's the truth. What you saying is true too, right?
So, man, when you was young, you gotta think. I mean, and that's the when people first started coming out, the whole Me Too movement came out. That's the first thing I thought about. Not necessarily somebody that I took advantage of, but when I was young, I talked my way into quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? I might be grabbing at some drawers or whatever. They'd be like, no. I'd be like, no, hey, just let me get the tip in. Just let me get the tip in.
Yeah,
man.
See? And for quiet brothers like me, we had to learn from people like you on what we need to do in life. Hey, man, what's wrong with you? You just got to talk. What's wrong with you? You got to talk to them. That's it.
To rule the nation.
Well, she said no. That don't always, and that's another thing too. How many times were we brought up on this? Girls say no, it really mean yes. That was a thing. For you know what I'm saying? And now you can't do that today.
Yeah, I don't know about today.
Today, if she says no, or if you think she's gonna say no, like I tell my son all the time, look here. It is as pretty as they gonna be, as over sexualized as they gonna be, whatever the case may be, whatever you do, son, when you talk to them, you make sure that chocha or sex, whatever, however you want to look at it, is the furthest thing from your mind. And I know it's hard. Especially if you got a pretty thing sitting in front of you. It's hard not to think about, sexual acts. But I try to tell all men and young men, make that the furthest thing from your conversation, so much to the point that she has to bring it up.
Oh yeah. That's kind of how I used to.
And I know that's how you teach little Johnny. I seen how little Johnny worked.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until you get mad, and you basically gonna get mad at me and be like, "Hey, is you gonna come get this or not?" Then I'm going in for the kill.
Exactly.
I didn't have people question me. It's like, do you not like me or whatever? It's not that I don't like you.
No,
I just need for you to
be validated.
Right. I need to be all the way in.
Exactly. I needed to be so validated that when we do get ready to have sex, I'm not doing nothing. Hey, I'm just gonna lay down. Hey. And you can have your way with me.
I had them grab my hand, put my hand in their pants, whatever. Case like you got to make the first move.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. But I've had that happen, and you know what my response? I do that every. Oh, okay, all right. Because you got to act surprised. You have to be surprised.
Well,
if you're not surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if a man is not surprised at getting a shot of chocha, if he is not surprised, it's probably because y'all been banging. But all men, young men, and little boys growing into being young men to men, listen to what I'm telling you. Always act surprised. Always. All right, so
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, We're gonna take a 5-minute pause here, and when we get back, I got some new shit for you.
Just asked about Wix, located at 2405 South Collins Street, Arlington, Texas. And Wix has what you need for your special occasion. From birthdays, graduations, holidays, pop-up workshops, album releases, and much more. We have custom lighting, stages, high-quality sound, and free parking. Visit us on the web at wix.live or call in today, 817-652-1121. Live Wix. Come see us.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Microwave Dreams production, 4-5 with 4-5. My illustrious host with me today, Johnny Judah. Let me correct that. DJ Johnny Judah, the greatest DJ in the DFW land.
I see my wife made her comment on probably on something I said about the yes and the no or whatever.
Oh yeah, I tried to. I didn't try to take you to the water for you to go fishing. I just wanted you to take the water, go to the water and look at the view. That's it.
I'm not worried about that, man, at all. I'm not worried about that at all. She probably did the same thing. I played shot with her too, so yeah.
You played shot with your wife when you first met her? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You should. You should have. You should have. Every man, boy, young man, play shy. I don't know the first. You don't know the first thing about Cho-Cha. You don't know nothing about it. I don't know. Every time you get with a new one, it's a new thing to you.
I play shot right now. We 15 years in, I still play shot.
Yeah. I thought that was going someplace else, boy. I thought that was going someplace else. So here's some things, man. We're going to get into some things today, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people trying to figure out who the hell I am and where the hell I come from and all this good stuff. But if you are anywhere in DFW, Northeast, South, and West, you know something about 4-5. You done heard something from me. You done heard me get on somebody's ass. You probably seen me get in a fight with somebody, especially out in these on this concrete. This is real deal, man. This is real deal. But
you ain't thugging like that.
No, I ain't no thug. I ain't no thug, but I'm gonna protect myself and defend myself. You know what I'm saying? I have had to do it.
I mean,
especially with the youngins.
Yeah.
Did not understand it. Okay. Everywhere you go in the DFW, people ain't your friend all the time. You know. So I'm just leave it at that.
One time you had to defend me back when my jaw wasn't working, my mouth was wide shut.
Oh, he didn't want none. He didn't want none of that work. He didn't want none of that work. Plus, I was too fresh in it too. I was too fresh in it, man. Who was that? K. No, I'm not gonna give you no time. I'm not gonna give you no clock, boy. You know who you are. I ain't giving you no clock. I was about to give you some clock, but I ain't gonna give you no clock. Yeah. Especially because my mentor right here done told me, hey, yeah, man, we left that alone a few years ago. But every time I see you, I think about two things: pissing on yourself, because you know what I'm talking about. And I be thinking about, man, boy, my boy got into a wreck, had his whole face crushed into his skull. I don't know how you came out of that, boy. I still remember them pictures. You look like the cartoon with the thing wrapped up over your head. I said, shit. Yep. Shit. And then what's so cold about it is, ladies and gentlemen, broke jaw, really couldn't move, doped up, and everything. You know what happened the next day? Scritty get a scratch. Scritty get it to the left. To the right. Drinking right back on it. You know what I'm saying? Watching this dude make a soup out of a baked potato. Made a soup out of it and sucked it down with a straw while he's spinning. I'm telling you he cold. I'm telling you he cold. I like to give y'all's flowers. You know what I'm saying? We blackbirds, you know. If you want to know what a blackbird is, I'll give you the definition in some other time, because we're blackbird nomads, all that good shit. You know what it is. You know what it is. But I've watched this gentleman go through hell and back. I watched him when he had this much in the DJ game and was soaking up everything he could. Now today, hell,
Back out. Putting it back out for the other people to soak up.
yeah,
So,
giving
it's
it
a
back
cycle.
out, giving
Yeah.
giving the game back out,
It's a
and
cycle.
all that stuff.
It's a cycle.
I done roadied for this dude.
Shit, I need you this weekend. What I need you Saturday.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there. I done roadied for this dude and everything, man. We done been through.
It's been a hell of a
Man,
a hell
it's
of a
been
ride.
a hell of a
And it
what?
still ain't over.
25.
Yeah, it's got to be 2025 somewhere up in there.
25, man.
Yeah.
25, and it don't seem like the first day ever changed, man.
Let me ask you this question. What started you? I guess I started you in the whole podcast game.
Oh, in the podcast game.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, yeah, it was you. You told me one day, you said, bro, when you go to talking, for some reason, bro, a lot of shit you be saying, it really makes sense. And people really be listening. You should get on one of these shows. And I was like, nah, man, I don't like the camera. I'm never gonna. If y'all ever get a chance, now I'm gonna talk about this in a second, but if you ever get a chance and go to Tri-Coastal Radio from about four or 5 years ago, when I first started out getting in front of the camera, this is what I would do. The whole time I'd be talking and everything, but you would never see nothing but the top of my head because I did not want to be in front of the camera. But you snatched me out of my zone one day, and you was like, "Hey, man, I need your help." That's how you got me. You said, "I need your help," and I'm thinking that we about to go set up your DJ shit. We go over to Rip's house, and at that time, it was me, you, Rip, Banks, and Banks had his his son and his little crew. They was all out there. They was doing their little rap thing, and I was on Rush or the Flush at that first time, and I sat there and
look crazy.
Because I could not stand it. It sounded like every song they played was the same song because of the auto tunes. At the time, I called it voice box. Y'all should remember if you was watching.
Yeah,
but yeah, you got me into
like
it.
songs. You only shit all the way up to the end, all the way up to now. Shit,
yeah, I'm not I never really liked
it was hard on them.
Yeah, those four years was hard on me on Rush the Flush for the plain and simple fact that I'm not one to go into entertainment. I don't like entertainment like that.
You know what I'm saying? Personality now?
Huh?
You a whole personality now?
Yeah, but I don't feel like I entertain anybody, man. I feel like what I try to do is I try to inform people. I try to be as informative as possible to people. You know what I'm saying?
It's still, entertainment is how you get the information out. Because if they're not entertained, then they're not gonna listen to your information.
That is true. And I do say some wild ass shit from time to time. I had to go back and check a couple of things. I was like, damn, I did say that.
I mean, damn. Some people the good thing about it is, as far as you, some people agree with it, some people don't. But either way, they feel like they want to say something.
Right.
So whether they agree with you or they feel like you're crazy, they feel like they want to say something, say that to you. So, that allows the conversation to go on. That allows, information to be put out there.
Yeah. The first time I think I feel like I think I got into my lane was when you had started picking up as far as DJing and shit, and then you had some, you do other work, and your work started picking up, and I was taking over for you on the morning show.
Right.
And once I got in on the morning show, man, and we started, we was getting politicians and big people around the DFW, you know what I'm saying, whether they was in the entertainment game or political game or just activists in the streets. We were talking to real people, man, and that just,
you pretty much had your own segment, really, to be honest with you. Because, you with every topic that we hit or whatever case, you kind of would have your own segment to put your own.
I think y'all just a lot of times, I think y'all was just trying to get me to talk to fill up the dead air, but then I started hitting on points and shit, and then all of a sudden it just seemed like the conversation just going to another lane. Which I love doing this, you know what I'm saying? I love it. At first, I didn't because I didn't want none of the, the cameras, the lights. It's just not me. But when it's to sit down and talk to people about real deal shit that we going through, you know what I'm saying? Shit that affects us on a day-to-day basis, whether it just be us for our community or for the community in a mass sense, you know what I'm saying? Not just us as black people. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about you is you got this uncanny way of coming up with another perspective. Like everybody got their perspective, everybody got their way to look at it or whatever. For some odd reason,
yeah,
4-5 will come up with, another perspective. And a lot of times you can invalidate a nigga perspective, but this nigga come with receipts and supporting sentences. I always talk about paragraphs. I always have a main idea and supporting sentences. Well, this nigga come with the whole paragraph. He gonna have crazy ass shit that sound crazy. By the time he get through with his supporting sentences, you fool around and entertain it. She might not agree still, but you at least entertain and be like, this nigga got a damn point. So he got this uncanny, and that's pretty much what it gave you your own segment over there.
That and the fact that I'm long-winded as shit.
Yeah, we know this. We are everybody who knows you, everybody who's been in conversation with you.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So So it's just everything happened like it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, but I got to give it to you, bro. That's why I'm glad you on this show. I got to give it to you because if I ain't never gave you your flowers for that, I'm gonna give you your flowers for that, man, because you saw that in me. You know what I'm saying? When I was telling you, no, bro, that's not me. That's not me. I'm good with helping out and chipping in and giving my ideas or whatever, but that's really not me. You was like, nah, bro, you got to really sit down and get in front of it.
I mean, it was, to be honest with you, even to go into it with you and your brother, both of y'all, really all three of us. I remember the first time we turned the camera on, was at my house. We turned the camera on, all of us froze up.
Right.
It was dead air, was looking at each other crazy. We didn't know how to fill the gaps, nothing like that.
Right.
And if you look at how we are, each one of us are today, like each one of us have progressed.
Man,
each one of us have progressed.
Man, you are my brother for sure. I try to stay back and try to,
doing whole shows. He doing whole shows. They will show Garvey Day.
Yeah.
The April 1st joint.
Right.
So,
right. We got the Garvey Day. We got the Malcolm X events. We got the Smokes and Jokes. Me and him put that on. He the one who turned me in on that. He was like, bro, you got to get in on it. It's two heavy brothers. You know what it is.
He a whole personality at this point.
But he always been that way though. My brother's always been the one to be like, hey,
y'all
man.
be back in the cut though. Y'all like to be back in the cut. Like y'all make stuff happen, but you're not gonna be in the front talking about it.
Right.
So it had to get you to a point of comfortability where you could talk about it.
That right. Because I don't bring it up a lot because I feel like it's an unspoken creed between us as Blackbirds, you know what I'm saying? Because what we do, we work, man.
Oh yeah.
We go to work. If somebody call us, the job is done when you call us. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times through y'all, I learned that there's nothing wrong with, accepting the gratitude. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there to say, hey, man, I'm available to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I would have to say I learned over the past, especially the last 3 years watching y'all two, just how y'all work, man. And how y'all put the, you know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. Just the work behind the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to get the work done and see the products of it, right? And then to turn around and see how now people gravitate. Like they not only are they gravitating, bro, but people like really be looking for, hey man, who handled this last time? Oh man, it was Judge them, or it was 4-5 them, it was Johnny them. They always rolling with each other. That's what's so weird is, bro, when we first started really just putting our feet in the concrete and really started moving and shit, bro. I don't think you remember. Well, I know you was there. You was there every step of the way from the time we jumped in on the temples on, right? And we would go into these events and we didn't have a position in it. Or instead, what we did, we would go around and, if it was a live event full of a lot of vendors, we just go around. I know I'd go to every tent. What y'all need? Let me help y'all set up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how my face got known. Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? You showing up all the time. Every time somebody called, You show up, I'm right there in tow, or my brother's there in tow. And you know, we just put that we just put it together and put it down. And I think just like I'm gonna have to get my brother on here too, man. Say thank you to him as well, because I have to say thank you to you on the show, on my first one that's live and everything.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Because it was you who you really rode me, bro. You rode me on it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, hey, let me just put this bug in your ear. You was like, nah, bro, this is what you need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And I got to say thank you for it, because I would have never, man, thank you to Wick too. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have never thought it was ever going to even come to this. I always was just like, I'm just like a little segment dude. You just holler at me and I'd come, you know? But like now, I'm very, very thankful for everything that is transpiring. And I know that
that's what family do. That's what friends and family do. And you know, it's a lot of reciprocation going on, because it's times you don't put me in position, it's times I don't put you in position. Same thing with Judge. Times I don't put him in position. Time he put me in position. He put me in over there at the Malcolm X committee or whatever. I've been over there for 4 or 5 years now.
Right.
So it's like, you know, it's just a lot of, you know, reciprocating between each other.
Yeah.
And that's the way a friendship, or even going past a friendship, that's the way a family is supposed to do each other.
Absolutely.
You know, you get in the door, shoot. Look, leave the door and put a rock in the door so I can get in that mother. So
exactly.
That's pretty much, you know, how we conducted ourselves. That's why we've been associated. That's why we've been close. That's why we haven't had any problems over that whole amount of time.
We didn't have some issues.
I mean,
but it just be like this. This is one thing I have to say about you and your immediate brothers. I mean, your blood brothers. You know what I'm saying? Norris. You know what I'm talking about. I don't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this: from the jump, from me and my brother to you and your brothers, like. Shit, loosely, we always been around each other, because you know your brother used to work with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then how me and you linked up on some wild ass shit, you know what I'm saying, at a job, you know what I'm saying? But loosely, we had been around each other. And then I introduced you to my brother because he was doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's when you had first set up our website and everything, you know what I'm saying? And
making music out the closet over there.
Exactly. Yep. And it was so, you know, everything that we started, it was just like we was literally, like when they say from the mud, bro, we was below the mud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't even, they didn't even put no water on us to make us mud. Right. We was straight dust. You know what I'm saying?
Mentors, we was trial and error.
Everything that we did was trial and error. You know what I'm saying? And then it just seemed like, you know, we got to this point where it was like, you know what? Don't matter. If it needs to get done, we're gonna get it done. Right. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, your brothers and just your family, man. Your family accepted us, we accepted y'all. And you know, hey man, I just wanted to take this time to say thank you. I love you. Love you and Christy. You know, we could go in all that. I ain't gonna do it.
He's the reason why I'm married today. He's the reason why I'm married today.
Him and my brother. And ask them what they done for me. I'm just playing.
That's a whole different element. I know you. That's a whole different element, right?
Johnny has saved several of you ladies.
I'm just hating me, ready to kill me. You know, question gonna just no. Right. Don't let him make it that far.
Right. And yeah. Yeah,
I mean, now I'll be more inclined, you know.
Yeah, them first, especially after my first, you know, after my marriage.
Yeah.
No. And I swore to the world, I will never do that again. And I went way out in left field. So far in left field, ladies and gentlemen, I found myself in New Orleans. And I want y'all to know, Calliope, and all that, I've been through all that. I ain't gonna talk bad about y'all, but somebody was lying about a whole lot of shit. But ladies and gentlemen, we could go on forever and a day. My main man, Wick, has been telling me for the past 10 minutes we was on 5. So now we wrapping it up, ladies and gentlemen. It's been great speaking to everybody. I'm glad that you guys were able to, you know what I'm saying, join us again, talking about everything that we're talking about. Again, I have to say thank you to my main man, Johnny Judah, for blessing us on the show. Thank you to my main man, Wick, for setting us up outside to enjoy this sweet ag town air. And ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Four5. This is Four5 with Four5, a Microwave Dreams production. We'll see you again. Same black time, same black channel. It's been great.